What time? What do you mean? I've been here. Are you ever gonna get to work? So we went ahead and got the Mustang back from the frame shop. Danny went ahead and aligned the whole entire front end, got everything straight, did a little bit of pulling here and there. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and finish off welding in the whole little frame rail up front. Then once we do that, we're gonna paint the frame rail black so you'll never be able to tell it was in a wreck. And then at that point, we're gonna go ahead and get these body panels, the GT350 style hood and front fenders, prep them for paint, which will be coming up soon. And really, we're almost just about to finish with this build, and we're gonna finish up a few odds and ends. But here's kind of the little test fitment of the fenders and the hood, and the front bumper we have sitting in the house. So I'll show you all that maybe in this episode, we'll see. But all right guys, let's go ahead and get to work. On this Mustang, I really want to learn how to actually weld. So my dad was a welder out at Tinker for 38 years, so he has lots of welding experience. So on this one, even though he's probably the better welder and it'll probably come out better in the long term, I really want to learn how to weld. So I'm going to have him show me, and I'm going to try to take it into my own hands a little bit and learn a little bit of welding along the way. So we went ahead and got the Mustang up on the lift. This is the first time I've actually been underneath the car. So this is the first time we got it actually up on our lift. The reason why we're getting it on the lift is we're going to finish up welding the other side of the frame rail, and we cannot do it when it was parked on the other side. This way we'll have better access to the inside part of the rail and the underneath part. But first things first, let's go check out what the car looks like underneath. See if you can see that frame rail on the inside. That's where we're going to have to weld, which will make it a lot easier from getting the bottom piece from the bottom. But I don't know if y'all guys can see this, but this car is very clean underneath, and now we see why it's so damn loud. Looks like they have it all straight pipe. The cowlet converters are both off. It looks like it meets down and they have an X pipe on it. And it looks like it comes out to the Roush exhaust. So that's why this thing is so damn loud. Awaken the dead for the most part. This car is very clean underneath, but I mean, it's kind of what you would expect from a car that only has 30,000 miles and is 2 years old. But enough of that. Oh shit, I almost tripped. I almost broke the camera. We don't want that. That'd be kind of, don't want another expense to this build. Alright guys, let's get underneath and let's start welding. Alright guys, so we went ahead and finished up welding it all up. You can see that weld right there, so we're going to go ahead and grind off a lot of that, clean it up, put some body putty on it, and then we're going to sand down the frame rail, paint it black. All the grinding's done for the most part. Now we're going to throw some body putty on to sand it down, smooth it out, and then we're going to paint. We went ahead and put the body putty on over the weld after we sanded it down, grinded it down a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and sand down the body putty a little bit, smooth it all out, and we'll shoot some paint. The frame rail all sanded down with the body putty and everything. It's very smooth. Kind of roughed up the red paint on the frame rail, so I can go ahead and shoot it black. I went ahead and painted the frame rail. It looks great, and you're never going to be able to tell that was all welded in. Yeah, I probably didn't have to go as far as using a little bit of body putty and smoothing everything out, but I want everything to look great. I want it to be, it's the little details, guys. It's not the big picture, it's like the little details when someone looks at your car. So that's why I went ahead and took the extra time to do that. It looks great, and I'm happy with it, and I'll never have to think about it again. And so the next part is we're going to go ahead and sanding the fenders, hood, and bumper and getting them ready for paint. Let's get to it. To start off, we're going to hit the hood and the fenders and the front bumper. We're going to hit them with the 320 grit sandpaper. We're going to go ahead and rough it up all completely. And after that, I'm going to take the Scotch pad, which is around 360 grit Scotch pad. We're going to scuff everything up, make sure everything's roughed up so the paint will stick perfectly. Then after that, I'm going to shoot a little bit of primer on a few little spots on the hood and the fender. And then really, that's for the most part prep, and then we'll get them ready to paint for the next day. So here's the hood all sanded down with 320. There's a few spots I want to hit with primer before we paint, and obviously it's going to be cleaned up a little bit, but honestly, the hood felt really smooth. I'm excited to shoot this bad boy. Fenders came out pretty nice as well. They were all smooth all throughout. There's a few spots I want to hit with primer as well before I paint. But everything's really coming together. We'll shoot those areas that I need to shoot with primer, sand down the primer, smooth it out, and then we'll just scuff up the whole hood and fenders, get everything ready, and we'll be ready to shoot. And I'll give y'all guys a little sneak peek. I haven't showed y'all this. Here's a GT350 style front bumper, which I'm about to scuff up and get it ready for paint as well. So here's the finished result after I went ahead and primed all the areas that I went all the way down to bare metal. What I'm going to do after this is actually sand those areas back down, smooth it all out. Those areas that I primed, I'm going to go ahead and sand those back down. And then after that, we'll scuff up the whole fenders, and we'll go from there. Here's the finished product after priming, sanding down, scuffing up. Here's one fender. Here's the second fender ready to go. And after I scuffed them up, I cleaned them up with some water. Then I went ahead and used some wax and grease remover on top of it as well for good measures. And here's a GT350 style front bumper, all scuffed up and ready to go. And actually on the front bumper this time around, since it is plastic, I'm going to go ahead and try some of this Bulldog adhesive promoter. Because of my S2000, whenever it gets rock chips, it kind of puts a big chip in the front bumper. So I was going to try this out this time around. Heard good things about it. So. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this week's video. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and paint the car. I'll see y'all guys in the next one.